Hello everyone and welcome back to another very exciting chess game by Emanuel Lasker, the world chess champion for 27 years. And in this chess game his opponent was French's Joseph Lee, the English chess master and one of the strongest chess players at the time. French's Joseph Lee is considered as one of the strongest chess players around 1890s. In 1897, basically he was ranked, I believe, number 25. So he was one of the top 30 chess players at his peak in 1890s. So this was from the London 1899 chess tournament, which Emanuel Lasker easily won this tournament. So he completely dominated this tournament. So in this chess game, Emanuel Lasker had the black pieces, and this was actually one of the most beautiful chess games that I have ever seen played by Emanuel Lasker. So I wanted to show this chess game because I think you're going to enjoy this, and it is highly instructive and eye-opening chess game. So in this chess game, Lasker had the black pieces, and I think we should check out this chess game from the perspective of Lasker. So French's Joseph Lee starts the game with e4, and we have the Spanish game, Morphy defense, knight to f6, d3, c3, and pushing the pawn, kicking the bishop back, and both players are simply developing their pieces. So repositioning the knight by Lee, knight to g3, quite positional play, castling, lining the rook with the queen, and then knight to a5, bishop to d2, c5, rook over, lining the rook with the queen. And Lee decided to sacrifice a pawn, but he's actually getting the bishop here, so it makes sense, but at the same time, against Lasker, of course, it could be dangerous. So Lasker is moving the knight again. It looks like it is a waiting move. So we have rook to d7 and rook to e7. We have rook goes back, so it was attacking the bishop. Rook to d8, so it makes sense. Lasker wants to simplify the game because he's a pawn up, of course. So a takes on b5, a takes on b5, queen to d2, defending the knight, and then advancing with the h-pawn, rook to a6, rook to d7, kicking the queen back, and then defending and attacking the rook, giving the boot to the rook. So we have f5 by Emanuel Lasker, and it looks like he is planning to play f4 and squeezing his opponent. And in this position, Lee played g3, but Lasker is still advancing, and Lee decided to capture the pawn, and then knight takes on f4. And bishop attacks the queen, so we are reaching the critical position of the game. After queen to e3, it is black to move, and Emanuel Lasker played an incredible move in this position. So what would you do if you had the black pieces? Well, it is not very easy, because you have to see very deep, you have to see the combination. Lasker made a deep calculation, and he played a very strong move in this position. Okay, so Lasker played rook takes on d4. What was the purpose of this move? Can you see that? Which is very deep. Grandmaster level. This is Grandmaster level chess and GM level calculation. So c takes on d4. I mean, you will see how advanced, how deep Lasker saw actually, which is very impressive. Not for that time period, even for today. So if queen takes a knight to e2, and this is forking the king and the queen, and this is losing the queen and the chess game, of course. So c takes on d4 is a must, but then queen to g4, and we have king to f1. If queen to g3, this is impossible because of knight to e2, and this is forking the king and the queen, and white is losing. So queen to g4, and this move is forced, of course. If going to the left, then this is getting checkmated, of course. Very simple. So king to f1, queen to g2, we have king to e1 and checking the king, and these moves are just forced. And then this is what Lasker had to see. So that's why he sacrificed the exchange for creating this passed pawn to check the king. Incredible calculation. c3 by Lasker. Amazing. And we have queen takes on c3, king takes is king takes is impossible because of knight to d5, and this is forking the king and the queen. So queen takes on c3, and then queen takes on f2, this is check, and we have king to d1, and this move is also forced. So if king to c1, then this is forking the king and the queen, and white is losing. So king to d1 and e3, so this is also what you had to see, and after e3 you can see the bishop can also check the king. I mean, actually Lasker is threatening to play queen to f1, and the only defense is with the queen, and then bishop to f3 is going to win the queen. So we have bishop to b3. For example, let's make a random move. Then we have check, and where is the king going? So this is the only defense. Then we have check, only move, and capturing the queen, and this is game over. So okay, we have king to d1, e3, bishop check, and throwing some checks, but it does nothing. So queen to e1, immediately hoping to survive, but Lasker played a very elegant move, an incredibly elegant move, and after that move, white resigned. Francis Joseph Lee resigned. So if I give you a few seconds, can you guess the move? Because not every move is winning, obviously. If exchanging the queens, white is winning. White is going to laugh. White is going to be the one who is laughing after exchanging the queens. So did you see the move? Okay, I hope you see bishop to c8. And after this move, Francis Joseph Lee resigned. There is nothing that white can do in this position. So let me show you the possible continuation. I mean, it could be any move, anything. I mean, for example, if exchanging the queens, then e takes on f2, and you can stop this pawn because of this pawn. I mean, you can't defend with the bishop. You can't get close with the king because of the knight. This pawn is going to become a queen. So if some random move, we have queen. And so that's why this bishop move was fantastic. And let's not capture the queen because black is going to promote the queen. Let's say d6, then bishop to g4. This is why Lasker played bishop to c8. So, I mean, what else? You can move the king, and this is the only move. Or king to c2. Then we capture the queen. I mean, you can see that this is losing the queen. Okay, I mean, what do you think about this chess game? Before signing out, let's check out this again. I mean, this was very impressive. Rook takes on d4. Queen takes is impossible because of forking king and the queen. Okay. So, c takes on d4 is a must. And then queen to g4 and king to f1. Of course, blocking with the queen is impossible because of knight to e2, forking the king and the queen. So king to f1, check. I mean, this is forced. These are the only moves. And then c3, so he had to see that. This is why he created this pawn, a white pawn on d4, and created a pass pawn to give check to the king. Smart, very smart. So queen takes is the only move because you can't capture with the king because of knight to d5. Very simple actually, but at the same time very smart. So forced, capturing, and this is also forced because king to c1 is losing to knight to e2, forking the king and the queen. This is grandmaster level calculation. So king to d1 and e3, he had to see all of that. I mean, all of that. So bishop to d3, I mean, let's play some random move, as you know. This is losing the queen and getting checkmated very shortly after this position. I mean, what can you do? So bishop to b3, king to g7, and then d5, checking the king, and queen goes back. I mean, what else? This is very desperate. And then bishop to c8, he also had to see this move as well. So he made a very deep calculation. I mean, maybe more than 10 move calculation with different variations. Okay. So he had to see like 30 moves or something if you count the different variations as well. So nothing works. I mean, this doesn't work because black is promoting the queen. And if some random move, check, and losing the queen. Okay, so you got the picture. Thank you very much for watching. Unbelievable, isn't it? What an incredible chess player. And it's not a surprise why Lasker was so dominant. He was the world champion for 27 years. I know I'm talking like a broken record, but that's very impressive and he deserves a lot of credit for that. So thanks again, stay safe, take care, and bye bye.